My name is Lakota Denton, and I'm a personal injury lawyer in Asheville, North Carolina. And I want to talk to you about car insurance and how much car insurance you need on your vehicle to make sure that you and your family are safe. In North Carolina, car insurance is really critical if you're involved in a car crash for any reason. Your insurance covers a number of different things. If you crash into somebody and injure them, your insurance will cover up to a certain limit for injuring that person. It will cover up to a certain limit for the damage you do to that person's car. And that is really important for a number of reasons. You want to have enough coverage so that that person that you might injure is paid for all of their medical bills and all of their injuries and all the damage to their vehicle. If your insurance policy doesn't cover everything that they need, they can technically come after you and any of you and your family's assets. So here are my recommendations for insurance that you need. I always recommend at least $100,000 in bodily injury coverage. That means if you crash into someone and you've injured them, your insurance company will cover up to $100,000 for their injuries. And while that's not the most you can get, that's almost always enough to cover whatever kind of damage you do. And you can get insurance to cover up to $1 million, but I think the minimum that I would recommend is $100,000. Your insurance is also really important for you, and here's why. If someone crashes into you and they only have the minimum amount of insurance in North Carolina, which is $30,000 to cover for your injuries, well, you can get $30,000 in medical bills like that at a hospital these days. So if the other person only has $30,000 and you have $40,000 in medical bills, you're out of luck. Unless you have enough coverage in your own insurance to pick up anything left. And that is called underinsurance coverage. And the way it works is if the other person only has $30,000 and you recover all of that because you have a ton of medical bills, you can then go into your own insurance policy and recover up to the amount that you've insured for. And that's why I'm recommending at least $100,000 in underinsurance coverage. But to be on the safe side, it should really be $250,000 or $500,000 in underinsurance coverage. And that will cover you even if somebody else only has the minimum amount of insurance policy. And from experience, most people in North Carolina only have the minimum $30,000 because when they go to their insurance agent and they say, I need insurance coverage, how cheap can you make it? They write them a policy for the minimum amount. Another thing that you really want to get in your auto insurance policy is something called medical payments. MedPay is a sort of a separate contracted insurance in your policy that will pay your medical bills from an accident even if the crash is your own fault. And a lot of people have $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 in medical payments, but you can get up to $25,000 in medical payments with some insurance companies. This means that if you crash or someone in your family crashes into a tree, there's nobody else involved, it's totally their fault, and they have medical bills, well, you can still recover for those medical bills out of your own insurance policy. So when you're thinking about getting insurance, don't just get the cheapest possible. It can have really drastic consequences for you down the road if you're involved in a crash. Get at least $100,000 in bodily injury coverage, at least $100,000 in underinsured coverage, and get as much medical payments as you can. Medical payments are very inexpensive. I think $25,000 worth of medical payments probably is not even going to cost you $100 a year. If you have any questions, please contact my office. I'm happy to answer any questions about your insurance coverage, and I can even recommend insurance companies that I've dealt with that are reasonable and not difficult to deal with. Thanks.